This vaccine is either permanent that to put is seeding point one, but that goes towards like so the link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out. So let's get into this vaccine in 3, 2, 1.
They say love makes you do crazy things.
Sometimes love do my do questions. Sometimes, yeah.
But what if I told you a man once walked into a hospital, swollen belly, morning sickness, even kicking sensations, and when doctors tested him, the impossible turned out to be true? Yes, this man was pregnant. But here's the shocking part. He did it just
Yeah.
to prove his unfaithful partner wrong. Meet Ethan
Wow. That's one way to game back. That's one way.
Miller, a 33-year-old software engineer from Ohio. On the
Oh wow.
outside, he looked like any ordinary man,
Yeah.
tall, athletic, confident. But inside, Ethan was carrying a storm. He had been in a long-term relationship with Veronica, the woman he
Veronica.
thought he would marry. For years, Veronica teased Ethan about not being man enough. Whenever they argued, she'd throw sharp words. You don't understand what
What? She the one crazy.
real
Yeah.
responsibility feels like. You don't even know what it's like to carry life. Things got worse when Ethan discovered Veronica was cheating on him. She laughed when he confronted her and snapped.
Oh.
You'll never understand what women go through. You could never handle being pregnant like me. Those words cut deep. Ethan, hurt and humiliated, made a shocking decision. He would do the unthinkable. He would become
Yeah.
pregnant, not just to prove her wrong,
That we tease all. That we tease all. Don't much with you.
but to reclaim his dignity.
Yeah.
Months later, Ethan walked into an emergency clinic complaining of severe nausea, fatigue, and unexplained weight gain. His friends thought it was stress.
Yeah.
Some even joked, "What's next? Ethan, you're pregnant?" But doctors noticed something odd. His abdomen was firm, rounded, and almost shaped like a pregnancy bump. Blood
Yeah.
tests revealed hormone levels that made no sense for a biological male. The medical team was baffled.
Wow, really?
How could a man show pregnancy-like symptoms? At
Yeah.
first, they suspected a tumor producing hormones. They ran scans, but what they saw made them fall silent. Inside his abdominal cavity, there was a growing mass. But this wasn't cancer. This was something else. At this point, let's pause. Because you're probably asking, how on earth could a man even get pregnant? Here's the shocking truth. Ethan had been born intersex, though he
Into sex. Yeah.
never knew the full details. Deep inside his body, undeveloped female reproductive structures remained, tiny, dormant, hidden away since birth. Most people never discover such conditions unless a medical emergency forces it. But Ethan?
Yeah.
He knew. A few years back, during a routine scan for kidney stones, doctors had found a small, underdeveloped uterus-like organ in his abdominal cavity. It was rare, almost unheard of, but technically possible. He never told anyone, not even Veronica. So when she mocked him,
Really?
when she said he could never
Seem like
understand
him.
pregnancy, Ethan decided to make her words haunt her forever. But how
Yeah.
could he actually
So
conceive? That's the part that left
yeah. So I'll use the boss. Yeah.
even doctors speechless. Ethan had secretly undergone a groundbreaking experimental procedure abroad. Through advanced fertility technology, doctors were able to retrieve one of his undeveloped egg cells, cells that had been dormant but still genetically his. Using in vitro fertilization, that egg was fertilized with donor sperm and carefully implanted into his abdominal cavity near the dormant uterus tissue. This wasn't natural and it wasn't safe. The human body wasn't designed for it. But for Ethan, this was about pride, revenge,
But yeah.
and proving a
Maybe.
point no one would forget. Back at the
Yeah. You want to put a point. Yeah.
hospital in Ohio, the medical
Well, one guy, either one that so the yeah.
team was stunned. They weren't just treating nausea. They were looking at a real, developing pregnancy inside a man's body. Some doctors were fascinated, others deeply concerned. The risks were massive: internal bleeding, organ pressure, even death. Unlike women, Ethan's body wasn't naturally built for childbirth. At first, he refused to tell them how it happened. He just smiled and whispered, "I wanted to prove someone wrong." The doctors
Yeah.
ran weekly ultrasounds. Every time, they expected complications. But week after week, the embryo kept growing. Against all odds, the pregnancy progressed. When Veronica heard about it, she laughed at first. She thought it was a sick joke.
Shit. Well, I got last. Well, 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 I got either sick one, you.
But when she saw the ultrasound photos, the laugh faded. She was staring at the man she once mocked, carrying
Yeah.
life inside him. Ethan didn't yell. He didn't insult. He just looked her in the eye and said, "You said I could never handle pregnancy. Well, now I know what it feels
Yeah. See this side. Yeah.
like." The silence between them said everything. By the 7th month, Ethan's body began to struggle. He experienced shortness of breath, high blood pressure, and unbearable abdominal pain. The doctors knew it was only a matter of time. Unlike a natural uterus, his abdominal cavity couldn't stretch safely to full term. Every passing day was dangerous. Veronica visited once, standing at his bedside, unable to hide the guilt in her eyes. But Ethan ignored her. His focus was no longer on revenge, it was on survival and the
Yeah.
tiny heartbeat inside him. One night, alarms blared in the hospital. Ethan
Oh.
collapsed, clutching his stomach, his face pale with pain. He was rushed into emergency surgery. Doctors worked tirelessly,
Oh, good baby.
performing a complex cesarean section. Hours passed in tense silence. Then finally, the cry of a newborn echoed in the operating room. Ethan had done the impossible.
Yeah.
Against science, against danger, against all odds, he had given life.
Request.
The
Yeah.
baby boy weighed just under 6 pounds,
Oh, good baby.
but was healthy. Ethan held him in trembling hands, tears streaming down his face. Ethan's recovery was long and painful. His body would never be the same, but his spirit was unbreakable. He had risked
Yeah.
everything, not just to prove Veronica wrong, but to prove something greater, that love, betrayal, and determination can push human beings beyond what we think is possible. Veronica disappeared from his life, unable to face the truth. Ethan, however, found something better than revenge. He found fatherhood, and it gave him a new reason to live. So what can we take from Ethan's story? No, men cannot naturally get pregnant under normal circumstances. But science, rare biology, and sheer determination created a miracle that nobody believed possible.
Yeah.
But beyond the medical miracle lies the real lesson. Sometimes the most powerful way to answer betrayal is not through anger, but by rewriting the story entirely. Now, here's a question for you. If you were in Ethan's shoes, mocked, betrayed, pushed to your limits, would you risk everything to prove a point? Or would you walk away?
I want to put a point. You know. So either pendant that to put is seeding point one, but that got does. In the defense, one got ID coming. See what's marking him. See what's lesson. So you you wanted to put a point. You know. The link to the video will be the description below. Go and check them out and drop a like if you like and comment below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you're new and click the bell so you can be notified for a minute below in a month. Bye. Wow. Ooh.